This mystery changed into sealed under your name. Your Father and my dear infant, in case you accept as true within angels, start this video and watch it completely. Angel says this secret became sealed below your name earlier than you were even born. A reality so deep, so buried, so surrounded by using silence and denial that it took the voice of heaven to find it nowadays. Your father knew. Your brother knew. But you had been left in the darkish due to the fact the mild of this secret was too effective for them to manipulate. You had been never intended to discover like this. However, heaven cannot wait anymore. The scroll has been opened. The seals are damaged. Your name become whispered before the altar of God, and the angels trembled due to the fact they had kept hidden for years turned into now dashing ahead like a divine river of revelation. Listen. Your father, he did something for you lengthy ago. Something he had to do in silence. It was by no means spoken. No longer even on your mom. A selection made beneath the load of shame, safety, and worry. And your brother, he changed into too younger at first to apprehend. However then, at some point, he overheard something. A communique that was in no way supposed for his ears. He carried the weight of it in silence. And that silence, it became a curse over your circle of relatives. It is time. The time of exposure. The time of lifting veils. The time of secrets unraveling like threads that would not preserve the fabric of illusion. You thought they didn't care. You notioned they were remote. Bloodless. But in the back of their eyes were storms of guilt, rivers of remorse, and burning disgrace. Because the fact become this, there has been something yours. Something intended to be inherited. And it was taken. Hidden. Buried under forged files and fake conversations. Not due to the fact they hated you, however due to the fact they feared what it might suggest if the reality came to mild. They feared your destiny. Your lifestyles turned into rerouted. What turned into presupposed to arrive at the doorstep at 21 never got here. To accept as true with a fortune. Impossibility. However, something occurred. A person stepped in. A pal of your father's. Or so he claimed. He manipulated the whole lot. God says he tricked your father into signing something. Something that exceeded your rightful inheritance into a person else's palms. Your brother found the papers. Years later. He knew. And he wanted to inform you. But via then, a lot harm had been performed that he feared your response. He feared losing you. Because the reality could make you question everything about your circle of relatives. About who included you and who failed you. Your angels watched this play out. Archangel Michael stood over the room the day your father made the selection. He attempted to whisper into his heart. But your father became susceptible. Strain. Careworn. And the enemy was operating via deception. This is why heaven did not punish him. Heaven waited. Due to the fact heaven knew. You will upward thrust besides. What turned into taken might be returned. With hobby. The only who stole from you is now being investigated. Their name has seemed in a listing of corrupt dealings. A religious and earthly investigation is underway. A person in your town, near your father's past, has become in opposition to this man. Files are resurfacing. Names are being cross-checked. And your name, yes, your call, has been whispered once more. Your call is in a folder. In a workplace. With a seal this is about to interrupt. Archangel Gabriel added the very last scroll the day past. The scroll that confirms you with the rightful heir of something not possible. Something divine. Assets. A fund. A consider. It has all of this stuff. And extra. Because what became taken wasn't just money. It become honor. Calling. Appreciate. Role. And now is the time of divine reversal. But there is greater. You felt watched. You have had desires. You have seen shadows at night. That is now not your imagination. Due to the fact the enemy is aware of what's coming. He dispatched a person currently. A girl. Friendly face. Sweet voice. However, at the back of her eyes turned into deceit. She changed into scent to distract you. Dispatched to put off your divine awakening. Your brother knew of her. This is why he distanced himself again. No longer because he hates you. However, due to the fact he knew the lady was dispatched via the equal man who took your inheritance years ago. The enemy is getting desperate. In 3 days, a telephone name will come. A voice from your beyond. It'll start lightly. Informal verbal exchange. But then they'll point out your father. A vague reference. A check to see if you realize. Do not monitor what you currently know. Say little. Communicate slowly. Because God will do the exposing, no longer you. Justice is heaven's activity. Your process is to stay in faith. Stay in obedience. Pray. Fast. And prepare. Due to the fact whilst the publicity comes, your lifestyles will never be the same. Your father's guilt will come out. However, so will his love. Inside the very last season of his lifestyles, he began praying that some way, God could display you the truth. He wrote a letter. However, in no way sent it. Your brother observed it last month. It's hidden in a Bible. That Bible isn't in your private home. It is in a vintage garage unit. However, God says a person is commencing that unit right now. You'll receive a message quickly. Unexpected. A location. And deal with. Don't ignore it. Go. What you discover there will not simply be papers. It'll be a key. A key to the religious prison your own family has been locked in for many years. The time has come. No more hiding. No extra secrecy. No greater pretending. You had been born for this second. It truly is why you in no way suit in. That's why doorways slammed to your face. It really is why relationships failed. Because the burden of your calling scared humans. But now, it's going to scare demons. Due to the fact once this reality is out, you'll upward push. You'll speak. You may write. You will restore your own family's call. And you may now not be the sufferer of another man's choice. If you'd want to donate or show your appreciation, you can supply an exquisite thank you up to $100. This second will surprise you. Due to the fact even now you believe you studied that is just spiritual. You haven't any idea what is coming inside the mail. You have no idea who has been watching you, quietly defensive you. A man of regulation. A chum of your overdue father. A man who knew the fact, however waited until the prison path changed into cleared. He is eventually equipped. He's sending the letter now. He'll not use email. He wishes you to hold the truth. You will understand the envelope. Heavy. A seal at the lower back. Handwritten. When you get hold of it, do not open it right now. Pray over it. Thank God. Mild a white candle if you experience lead. Allow the power of fact and safety fill the room. Then open it. Examine slowly. The words will shake your soul. Because the primary line will say, your father never stopped loving you. But he failed to recognize how to face you after what he allowed to happen. That sentence will wreck you. But it'll additionally rebuild you. That is a while. That is the recovery. This is the moment God promised you to your darkest nights. While you cried on my own. While you asked, why does the whole thing feel behind schedule? God whispered to the angels, because what I have for them is greater than what they are requesting. And now, right here it comes. A healing of wealth. A restoration of agree with. A recovery of affection. A recuperation of identification. You aren't damaged. You are selected. You are not forgotten. You are appointed. The only who attempted to smash your legacy will now watch you reclaim it. This mystery became sealed beneath your name. Your father and brother aren't who you watched they may be. Not within the manner that topics maximum now. There is something heaven has waited a long term to show to you. And the time is now. You had been never purported to discover this via accident. You had been led here, drawn by divine gravity, due to the fact the truth is simply too sacred to live hidden anymore. It's time. You're equipped. What was buried under silence, shame, and shadows is ready to return into the light. It is not to spoil you, but to loose you. The truth will now not break you. It will release you from a chain you didn't even comprehend you have been dragging via your existence. There was a document, a moment, an assembly, something signed behind closed doorways. A secret sealed not in ink, but in gold. And this mystery has affected your lifestyles in methods you never understood till now. It shaped your route, your ache, your patterns. It created confusion in your spirit, a sense that something turned into continually being saved from you, something just outside your hold close. And also you had been proper. That feeling was no longer paranoia. It changed into spiritual discernment. Your soul knew. Your soul remembered what your thoughts could never give an explanation for. And now, heaven speaks at once to you. The curtain is lifting. Your father and your brother, what they did or allowed to manifest became no longer small. However I, the Lord your God, am now not showing you this so that you will sit down in bitterness. I am showing you so you will sooner or later apprehend why shore storms accompanied you. I'm showing you so that you will forestall blaming yourself. This turned into now not your fault. You probably did nothing to deserve the hidden betrayal, the buried silence, the quiet selections that altered your life course. There has been a communication where your call came up. There was a preference made without your voice being heard. And for years, you felt the impact, however may want to by no means discover the source. Now, the supply has been found out. Archangel Michael has been standing at the gates of your destiny, guarding your soul as time delivered you towards this second. Due to the fact understanding the truth at the incorrect time ought to have broken you. But you're more potent now. You have been through sufficient to stand tall inside the face of divine revelation. You have survived storms you never instructed every person approximately. You cried in silence, forgave in mystery and smiled whilst your heart became breaking. And now, that energy will bring you because the truth unfolds. Your father knew something that could have protected you. However, he failed to communicate. Your brother changed into part of something that concerned your destiny. But he did not prevent it. Heaven is not blaming them. But heaven is exposing them due to the fact the time for confusion is over. You cannot build your destiny on a cracked foundation of half-truths. And your soul is crying out for justice, no longer in revenge, however in recovery. And this is exactly what God is about to offer you. Divine recuperation. You have not been forgotten. You have not been abandoned. You have not been cast apart. Even supposing it felt like no person ever informed you the whole fact, even supposing the humans you depended on maximum have become the very ones who hid what mattered maximum, God noticed. God heard. And God is transferring. A sealed mystery cannot stay sealed while heaven opens it. The lock is being broken. The silence is finishing. The story is coming out, now not for gossip, now not for drama, however due to the fact your identification has been underneath non-secular assault for too lengthy. You aren't who they told you you had been. You're a long way greater. You aren't simply the sum in their decisions or errors. You're God's liked. You're divinely selected. And whilst others attempted to define your story behind closed doors, God is now writing a new bankruptcy in front of the arena. You're getting into a second of supernatural justice. Things are being made right, without you wanting to combat, argue, or prove whatever. Heaven is your defender. Archangel Michael is your witness. The court of heaven has dominated, the truth must come forward now, and no force can stop it. You could experience irritated, betrayed, or damaged, and that is K. Sense it. God isn't always fearful of your feelings. He created them. He is not disillusioned for your doubt or confusion. He is aware. He is aware of that. To hold this secret, see you later, unknowingly, left scars on your spirit. He knows the years of questioning why positive doors wouldn't open. Why a few people constantly dealt with you in another way. Why you by no means felt absolutely secure, even on your family. The solution is now being spoken over you. It became the name of the game. The name of the game that had energy over your existence, despite the fact that you never gave it permission. However, now, God eliminates that power. Now, God tears the veil. Now, you are stepping into your divine fact. And no secret, no matter how well hidden, can compete with God's light. Light exposes, but it also heals. And what you're feeling right now, this fireplace growing in your chest, isn't always just emotion. It's divine awakening. Your soul is waking up. Your purpose is shaking off the dust. You are remembering who you are, not who they stated you had been, not who fear tried to turn you into, but who God created you to be. This mystery affected your finances. It affected your relationships. It affected your self-belief. However, now, a shift is going on. The lies are being burned away. The blockages are being removed. Where there was lack, there'll now be abundance. In which there was fear, there will now be peace. Where there was confusion, there'll now be clarity. Where there has been silence, there will now be divine course. You are being given solutions, no longer just to this second, however on your entire life. You are approximately to see who become really on your facet. A few human beings blanketed the name of the game, whilst others included you from the name of the game. And shortly, you'll see the difference. A few faces will change. Some names will shift, however don't fear the loss. God is doing religious surgery, slicing out what not belongs to your destiny. You will now not walk into this subsequent bankruptcy, wearing the load of unstated betrayal. You are being liberated. Archangel Michael says your safety has always been priority in heaven. Even when human beings tried to apply your call for his or her own benefit, heaven stated number. Even when they signed things in mystery, heaven countersigned inside the spirit with phrases like, loved, included, selected. They attempted to seal something under your call, but God has unsealed your destiny. They attempted to write a tale in ink, but God has written your destiny in blood, the blood of mercy, of grace, of salvation. You do not need revenge. You do not need to confront them. You do not need to show something. God will show the reality. God will elevate you within the very location wherein they attempted to hide you. He is setting your name in rooms that others attempted to keep you from. He's restoring what they attempted to restrict. He is elevating you above every hidden plot. The stone they rolled to cowle your capability is being eliminated, similar to it changed into on resurrection morning. You're coming out of this. Feel this deeply now. You're secure. You are held. God is with you. No matter what the secret contained, no matter how lots it harmed to pay attention, irrespective of how long it stayed buried, God become never surprised. And He has been getting ready your blessing with this reality in thoughts. Nothing is misplaced. What is coming is more than what turned into taken. What's beforehand is brighter than what became hidden. And what you have become is stronger than what you needed to continue to exist. This became not only a circle of relatives count. This was a non-secular battle. The enemy attempted to maintain you in the darkish because he knew how powerful your light is. He tried to dim your shine earlier than you knew you had won. He tried to block your admission to divine inheritance. However, heaven overruled. The final phrase does no longer come from men. It comes from God. And God says you'll rise. You'll thrive. You will step into prefer so thick it confuses your enemies. Humans will say, how did they get blessed in the end that? And the solution will be simple, God. Right now, take a deep breath. Exhale the fear. Let go of the anxiety on your frame. You are not in danger. You are in transition. God has made you out of spiritual captivity. The veil is long gone. The fact is right here. And the blessing is coming rapid. Inside days, things will shift. Signs and symptoms will appear. You'll listen something, a name, a element, a whisper of confirmation that proves this message was real. Watch how people begin revealing themselves. Watch how divine alignment happens. You must search for closure. God is your closure. You don't want all the information. God has already visible them. Your father and brother have their journey. Let God cope with them. Forgiveness doesn't suggest permission. It means release. And as you launch them, you are making room for divine inheritance. The name of the game can also have been sealed under your call, however your blessing is being unsealed under heaven's name. And nothing in this earth can prevent what is coming subsequent. You are strolling right into a season of recompense. Your name is being restored. Your identification is being discovered. The favor that changed into hidden from you is being activated. What they tried to govern is now overflowing. You're being honored in the spirit. You are being seen by means of heaven. And the secret that after held you down is now the cause you are growing. Not anything has been wasted. Each tear counted. Every sigh recorded. Each heartbreak cited. Heaven's justice is not blind. Its smiles flawlessly timed. Stands nonetheless now. Breathe. Sense the presence of God wrap around you like a blanket. You're safe. You're selected. You are cherished. The name of the game has no electricity anymore. You're